Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Jill. I make short commentaries where I slow things down and explore ideas honestly, thoughtfully, and without rushing to an answer. Today, I want to look at two pieces of advice we hear often and why they don't always sit comfortably together. Be understanding. Don't accept less than you deserve. One tells you to be compassionate, to see the reasons behind someone's behavior. The other tells you to draw a line, to protect your self-respect. Both sound wise. Both sound emotionally mature. And yet, when you try to follow both, something starts to feel confusing. Psychologically, these two pieces of advice are pulling on two very distinct instincts. One instinct is empathy. Human beings are wired to look for explanations. When someone disappoints us or hurts us, our mind naturally tries to understand why. Maybe your coworker missed your deadline because they've been overwhelmed with a new project. Maybe your friend didn't respond to your text because their child was sick. Understanding another person reduces conflict. It keeps relationships stable. It helps groups stay together. In many ways, it's one of our most sophisticated social abilities. But there's another instinct working at the same time. The instinct for self-respect and fairness. Our minds also track how we're treated. We notice when our effort isn't matched, when our time isn't valued, when our needs are quietly pushed aside. And when that happens repeatedly, something inside us starts to react. Almost like an internal signal that something in the relationship has become unbalanced. Like when your roommate consistently borrows things without asking, and you keep adjusting to make things easy. The problem is that empathy and self-protection often activate at the same time. Someone cancels plans for the third time. Part of your mind explains it. Okay, they've been busy. Work has probably been stressful. They didn't mean anything by it. But another part of your mind is keeping a different record. This keeps happening. I'm the one adjusting every time. Now, you're caught between two very human responses. The desire to understand and the need to be valued. This is where many people get stuck. Because empathy can become overactive. When we care about relationships, our minds can get very good at explaining other people's behavior. Sometimes so good that we start explaining away our own discomfort. We analyze, we rationalize, we reinterpret, all in the name of being understanding. But the cost can be subtle. Your empathy for others slowly becomes louder than your attention to yourself. Like repeatedly covering for a partner who shows up late because you know they're stressed, until you realize your own frustration is mounting. On the other hand, if we shut empathy off completely, something else happens. Every mistake starts to feel intentional. Every inconvenience starts to feel like disrespect. And the world becomes full of offenses that require defending against. That's not balance either. So the real challenge isn't choosing one rule over the other. It's recognizing what your mind is doing in that moment. Is empathy helping you see a normal human mistake? Or is empathy quietly convincing you to tolerate a pattern that isn't healthy? Because understanding someone's behavior and accepting that behavior are actually two very different decisions. You can understand why your friend snaps when they're stressed, and still decide that being their emotional dumping ground all the time isn't something you'll tolerate. Being understanding doesn't mean ignoring your internal alarm, and protecting your self-respect doesn't require turning off your empathy. The real skill is letting both signals be heard. So maybe the real question is this: when I try to understand someone's behavior, am I responding to a single moment? Or am I quietly ignoring a pattern? Because those two situations ask for very different responses. If this gave you something to think about, that's enough for today. Take care of your boundaries and take care of your understanding. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.